Hey, sisters. Happy Sisters Day. Today is Sisters Day, and I understand October to be Sisters Month. So, guess what? Hey, sister, ho, sister, whoa, sister. Yeah. And I don't know, Gila, Mila, Lila, but I don't speak French. So, y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Happy Sisters Day. Oh my gosh. I just want to say hello to all of my sisters out there. Send out some love. Send out some love to my two birth sisters that we were born of the same blood, and my two sisters that became my sisters as life has gone on and our families have joined. So, happy Sisters Day to you all. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to have you here today. I want to talk about this thing called sisterhood. We all like to be in the mix of talking about, hey, that's my sister, or that's, girls, that's my sister girl. But we never really talk about what sisterhood is. So, can we dig into that a little bit today? So I grew up in a house full of females, even the dog. The only male in the house was my dad. And I am the middle daughter of the three of us. So it just so happens that I grew up learning what this thing called sisterhood is all about. Um, and just for the record, I just want it out there. I happen to love, love, love my two sisters, Stephanie and Cheryl. I know I'm not supposed to call names, but shout out to Stephanie and Cheryl. Okay. And then my other two sisters, since I didn't get their permission, I won't call out their names. But the other sister sounds just like Stephanie, and the other one rhymes with Rasha with a T. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I'm going to call out to my sisters. So when I think of sisterhood, this is what I think about. I think about sharing. I think about support. I think about understanding like mindedness, why we're raised in the same house, right? Or we are finding ourselves in the same life circumstances, just like your sisterhood at church, right? We are finding our, when I think of sisterhood, I think of leadership, like being led by somebody in a place where I'm blinded. I even think about fighting with the final outcome being unity. I think about my secret keeper. I think about my mentor. I think about my engagement. That's what I think about when I think of my sisterhood. And so, who am I? My name is Sonora, and welcome to Soon Something Out of Nothing by Sonora. Now, when I say by Sonora, that's just who happened to set the page, but we all know that the master creator, our God, is the one that made the something out of nothing, out of his loving kindness, his grace, and his might. So I am always grateful. And even in making me into the woman that I am, um, my sisterhood with my sisters played a huge part in it. But then there's those relationships and those experiences that we have with women that are not positive experiences. They are not the love of our lives. They start out and we think, hey girl, we're sisters. Whether you're cousins or sisters or sister friends. We're not talking about the sister wives. We're talking about some other things, okay? We share some other things other than husbands, like shoes, okay? We're going to talk about that. Um, but you've had those experiences where you've had someone around and you've shared life with them. And then what happens when we open ourselves to our non chromosomal sisters and we have unkind experiences? We have poor um, we have relationship breakdowns. such as deception, manipulations, unfairness, criticism. That can be so defeating. Envy and jealousy. We're going to talk about that envy a little more in a minute. Falsehoods and lies, selfishness, even abandonment. And then the one that always gets me the most is the spitefulness, when people do things to hurt you on purpose. These experiences hurt just like a love relationship because guess what? They are love relationships. This is not something that gets to be put on a different plateau. It may be a different kind of love than um, a love relationship that would eventually end in marriage, but you still have those strong, strong ties and those emotional experiences that keep you bonded. And when those break, it can be incredibly, incredibly defeating and devastating. So, what do you do then? So, I want to talk about how some of those relationships fall from envy. And we don't even realize it most of the time. So you have body image envy. You ever have that fuller figure friend and that very thin friend, and then there's always this envy, you know, that might be experienced because I've got to go to the plus size and she's got to go over onto, the size zero, and you're struggling with that thing. If it's not controlled, it can definitely become a body image envy, or that relationship where you perceive someone to be so much more beautiful than you are, visually beautiful or prettier than you are, and you feel the lesser. Um, that again is that body image envy that can be very, very, very hurtful. Your self image envy. Now, I know that might sound crazy, but you know what? I've experienced and watched some experiences where you have someone who has a very strong self image, a very well developed self image, and another friend that doesn't. And that imbalance creates challenge. It just creates a challenge. So you want to be careful um, when you are in relationship with someone. Listen to where they are and where their needs are. And I'm not saying avoid these relationships. We're going to get to that in a minute. How about material envy? I have some very wealthy friends um, that have taken trips that I wish that I could go on, and then have experiences out of some materialistic experiences that I wish that I could have, but I just don't have the resources to have them. I don't envy their status. I actually enjoy having the opportunity to live through them. And if it's for me, then I was like, okay, I'm going to put that on my 1 day list. And it gives me something to work for, all right, or towards. And then you have that lifestyle envy, which is very similar to the material envy. The material envy could be her man buys her a pair of red bottoms every year for her birthday, and you can't even get a pair of Payless from your man. Don't hate is what the word is, right? But that's that envy. Whereas a lifestyle envy, you can have someone who may be living in an apartment and struggling, and then have another friend that has a mansion and has everything that they could want. And again, it's just about that self check to keep you going over into that level of envy. Intellectual envy. You know, I have been around some women in my life who have shared, who've been honest enough to share with me, like, you're a really smart woman, and sometimes that can be overwhelming. Um, their friendship allowed me, their sisterhood allowed me to one check myself, but the honesty is that they were able to check themselves to keep that again from boiling into a state of envy. How about family and friend envy, where you have that one person that just seems to have the whole world all around him, and you are struggling to maintain a relationship with anyone? That can really make you feel some kind of way. But you want to watch it, keep an eye on it, check yourself to keep that from bubbling over into an envious experience. Then there's that relationship envy. I'm going to talk about this for a minute. For those of us who are single, don't hate on the married women. I will tell you, sometimes this is a struggle, and a struggle is real. You want to go do something, and the answer is, well, I'm going to spend some time with my sweetheart or my honey or whatever. And you're like, I want to spend some time with my girlfriend. And yeah, I will tell you that, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I told you this is a safe place for us to be ourselves. There have been times where that has really been a struggle for me. Not necessarily because I've chosen to be single, I've just gotten comfortable in my singleness. So I think I look for other people to feel that way too, and want to exercise that level of independence, and it can sometimes get in the way. So I've had to check myself about that a couple of times. And then there's that success envy. Hey, that sister who is knocking it down, handing it over, redoing, redistributing, and has the whole alphabet behind her name and has seemed to break every ceiling. We want to be careful if you haven't yet gotten to that level. The thing that I've realized when it comes to those envious opportunities, whether it's your body image, your self image, your materialism, lifestyle, intellectual, family and friend, relationship, or success, in any of those areas, what keeps it from becoming envious is that we have to check ourselves. We have to keep a bead on ourselves to know that one, we need to be happy for the other person. And two, if it's possible from them, then it's possible for you. And that's where that mentorship and that leadership in a friendship and a sisterhood can really, really have a positive impact to fight off those envies. So this is the best advice that I can offer for healthy sisterhood relationships. I've came up with 8 because I couldn't round it. I wasn't just going to put fluff in there to get to 10 just to make you happy because it's a round number, right? So 8 is 2 snowmen. That's a round number. We're good with that. So here is some of the best advice I have. If you have other advice, please put it in the comment section or the chat so that we can actually share with one another how to move from these envious, spiteful, deceptive relationships into healthy, beautiful sisterhood relationships. Okay? All right. So, number one, I said listen without advising. Oh my God. Can I tell you how hard? And I called the right name. Can I tell you how hard that is for me? God knows how hard that is for me. I like to have an answer. I like to give people an answer. I like to advise. Hence, soon for Sonora by Sonora Head. Hello, right? So, um, it has been my practice now to listen without advising. Now, I can empathize with you and tell you um, how sorry I am that you're having to deal with emotions that you may not want to. But at the same time, I need to listen at the core of it. What are you saying? And the reason why I need to listen is for number two, because then I need to pray. Now, I know you want to say, well, don't you need to do one before two? No, because when I listen to you, and I truly listen and I empathize with you, now I can go into a prayer mode. Now I can go to the Master. I can pray with you and for you so that you can help to develop a healthier state of mind. But I need to listen to you so that you feel heard. Number three, offer a safe space where everyone feels heard and not judged. There is nothing worse than going to your sister and feeling judged, like you did something wrong, you didn't do something enough, you didn't take the right steps, you didn't listen to the right advice. You caused your own misery. And it very well may be, but sometimes we need to come to that on our own so that we get to the right place. Um, so we want to offer a safe space where everyone feels heard and not judged. Number four, you want to be encouraging. Be encouraging. Encourage someone, even in the place of a mistake, that it's okay. It's okay. Did we learn from this? Can we grow from it? Can we move past it? Can we heal? So we definitely want to look at being encouraging. Number five, you want to sincerely want the best for one another. Sincerely want the best for your sister. Not pretend, oh girl, I'm so happy for you. Uh, no, we want to be in a place and a space where we sincerely, from our hearts, want the best for one another. Number six, can we please be forgiving? We are humans. We will make mistakes. And we have to give everybody the opportunity to say, I'm sorry. Can we move past this? No, sometimes, no matter how hard the trespass is against you, we still have to forgive because we're going to want that forgiveness given back to ourselves one day. Then, if you were listening to my last uh, vlog, then you would have heard me talk about this thing called a spotter. We are trying to grow our strength. You want to be a spotter to help someone develop their strength in this walk. We're going to need all the strength we can get. So we need people to make sure that the barbell does not fall on you and hurt you, but that someone is able to help you lower it down to a safe space. Shout out to Ladare. I'm just saying. And then number 8, I have be open-minded. Be open-minded to understand that you may not know everything and have every answer for every one of your sister's situations, struggles, triumphs. Be open-minded to know that just because you made it through walking down this path does not mean that she has to follow that same exact path to get to the same result. That God sometimes takes detours. Some of us don't always need to go the long way around, and some of us don't ever learn by taking a shortcut. So the journey is going to look different for each and every one of us. And sisterhood is about sharing the journey. It is about me sharing with you who I am, my pains, my struggles, my triumphs, my errors, my failings, my shortcomings, my happiness, my joy, and my life energy. That is what sisterhood is about. So, if you have ever felt that you have had a sisterhood experience that did not turn out the way you wanted it to, and you feel like that's it, that's all, I'm done, I was too close to somebody, I'll never let anybody close to me again like that. If that is you, I want to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to go to the eternal master, the eternal father, and I'm going to ask you to ask him to help you to heal. I have been in so many different circumstances and situations with women and sisters that have left me in a situation where I did not feel that I could or should ever bond again with one of my sisters. But I will tell you that I am involved with some of the most enriching and empowering relationships with women right now in my life that I truly call sisters. So, for you, my sisters, I want to say Happy Sisters Day. Get your sister on. Get your sister on. That's my sister. That's my sister. Whatever. Y'all know I ain't got nothing else to do but be silly sometimes. But I want to tell you, I am so grateful that I have you, my sisters, here with me on this journey. Without you, I would not be able to make it. I've been going through some personal stuff recently, and I apologize for not posting last week. Last week was a very, very intense week for me. But I am here, and I am here first and foremost because of the Master, next of all, because of my two sisters, where we were able to pray together and just fellowship together. But it's also from my sister community. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I look forward to launching our new page. It's almost ready, y'all. It's almost ready. I'm very excited for girl. Pull your dress down. It's coming. It's coming. So keep an eye out. And I am Sonora. You are welcome here. This is a safe place for us to do our best, to be our best at just being women. This is only for the grown folks because the rest of y'all are not going to get it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I look forward to seeing you next week and see you soon, sisters.